Hi, everybody. I was doing my morning meditation, and the universe said, Marcy, today is a day for you to talk about how balance affects your clients and why it's so important in life for language facilitation. So I decided to get out my markers and write down some stuff so that I can explain to you today about balance. So like I said, my name is Marcy Melzer, and I help parents teach their late talking children how to use the words they need to share their wisdom with the world. And I have families all over the world in 10 different countries now who are using this formula to adapt how they're working with their kids at home, and they're seeing the most remarkable progress that I have seen over 30 years of practice. It's just thrilling for me to be able to work with these families. And, thinking about balance and all of that today, it is such a huge part of what we do. Now, I call myself an intuitive speech and language pathologist on purpose. It's because I am intuitive. I live my life basically by listening to the universe and following signs and really paying attention to where I am in the moment and responding to what happens to me. The most important thing about being intuitive is being responsible. And that means not just being responsible for, what I do. Obviously, the effort I put in is the results I get, that kind of responsible. But I also have an awareness that where I am in life is completely my own responsibility. And in order for me to make any changes, if I want to, I have to be able to move forward with my own responsibility. And that's the key thing, the first key thing that a lot of my parents need to understand. All the parents who work with me, they take responsibility for making improvement with their kids. Now, how that fits into being intuitive with balance and all of that is because in order to really make positive change that is going to last and continue to progress, you have to follow a formula that includes balance. And this is true for any kind of improvement that you want to make in your life. We live in a world that is comprised of duality, and everything's on a range or a spectrum. For example, there's effort that we put in. On one end, things are the most effortful. We have to put 100% effort, and on the other end of that same continuum are things that are very easy for us, that come naturally, that we do without even thinking, like breathing, And then there's on the continuum of assistance. So sometimes on one end of the spectrum, we have to learn. We don't know anything about the information that's coming. And on the other end, we're experts and we can teach other people. And then also in life, and that is true for everything we encounter. That's how it goes with language, of course. There's kids on one end of the continuum who, don't even know how to use verbal language. And then there's other kids on the other end who are jabberboxes and use communication without even thinking. And so obviously on that continuum, we need to get kids closer towards the progress end. And how it goes with balance is kind of like this. I made this little graphic. In the continuum of learning anything, there is this whole idea of, it's the most difficult thing ever. And I even wrote an arrow because sometimes things seem even more challenging than we feel like we're capable to do. And then all the way on this other end, over here, is ease, where, like I said, things are so easy we hardly have to think about it, and it's restful. We don't have to even think about breathing. We don't have to think about brushing our teeth, as we get really good at it. When we're challenged, that can be very fun. So, I talk sometimes about the difference in ways we can learn. Sometimes we're forced to learn things when we're in a challenging circumstance and we have to solve a problem for. So if we're very challenged on one end of the spectrum, then we have to put in a lot of effort. So if it's a trouble situation and all of that effort goes in, you still will learn. So for example, if you are having difficulty learning how to walk and you really want to get going somewhere, you're going to put in effort to learn. It's all based on your interest in succeeding, okay? So that's why the most fun learning happens here in the middle, what I call the balance point, okay? So with learning, it has to be challenging enough to keep you interested, and it has to be easy enough to keep you interested. So the best learning, when you can focus the most, is when you're still trying to solve a problem, okay? But it's not so hard that you give up easily. It's easier because we've moved it down the continuum. It doesn't hit all the way to, oh, this is so easy, I don't even have to focus and try to think about it, because you're not improving necessarily how you're brushing your teeth unless you pull back to, well, maybe I'm not brushing my teeth well enough and I need to put more effort into it. That's how it goes with language development too. So late talkers think that words are as difficult as it gets, okay? And we have to make it easier for them to try, but it can't be so easy that they don't put in effort. So the most fun happens when we're focused and attending, trying to solve a problem for ourselves because we're motivated to solve that problem, to learn something new. If it's so easy, we're not going to focus on it. So the balance point where we have the most fun and we do the best learning is what I call this asterisk, is the optimal learning point. This balance point is where we do the most optimal learning. And the only way you can have continuous learning is when you always checking balance and you're always checking your intervention methods to make sure that they always keep your child at the most fun, at the balance point. Because that's the only place you're going to get the best learning. You're not going to get best learning when it's too hard. You're not going to get best learning when it's too easy. It has to be balanced in the middle. Just like if you're learning to be a language facilitator parent. If it's so easy that it's just second nature and, we're doing things, we're just talking, but nothing's happening, well, then you as a language facilitator aren't in your best learning balance point because you're not challenging yourself to rethink what's going on in your house. If you are prompting, if you are holding out and you can't say cookie till you say cookie, or you've put all of the objects out of reach, trying to make your child have to tell you something, and you keep doing that and it's not working, like that may work for some families, but if it doesn't work for you, you can't keep doing the same thing. You haven't started to solve your problem, okay? And that's where, if you need help, that you could reach out to somebody like me or your speech pathologist at home, or someone who can coach you in how to get out of those patterns and get yourself in your own best optimum learning point, because you have to continually learn from your child, follow their lead, and present them with challenges that are going to help them increase skills. And sometimes that balance is challenging for parents to come up with on their own, because kids have, especially late talkers, have such a tight bond relationship with their parents that it's really important that you understand how to help your child learn to use language and words to communicate externally with everybody, not just you. So that's what I had to talk to today about balance. The dark versus the light, the help versus the assistance, the all of that is all one big continuum, and our jobs as humans on this earth are to keep the balance. And when we're balanced and focused and our energy is balanced, we can all learn everything. So you as a parent have it in you. I know you do. Today is a great day for you to think about getting started with your language facilitation journey with your child and really trying to keep your communication balanced with them, and see if that doesn't help you out. All right, I'm going to get out of here for now. I'll be back next week with a whole bunch more videos. Enjoy the light and the dark, and have a wonderful day. See you on my next video.